Thanks a million for joining me on the yoga mat this morning. Lovely sunny morning that it is. It's a little bit different. The last evening I taught out here on the deck and I got absolutely eaten alive by the mosquitoes. So hopefully I'll be safe enough this morning. This week's focus is on those lovely happy hips. So we're going to be working into opening up into the front of the hips, particularly the psoas muscle. So that's that muscle. It's one of the only muscles that connects the spine to the femur, and it's one that gets quite a lot of overworking during the day, whether we're sitting at our desk, whether we're driving, whether we're in our sport, and all our movement is kind of lifting through the legs and compressing into the front of the body. So that muscle just gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And even though you're thinking, oh, but I'm working it really hard, so it must be really strong, a tight muscle isn't necessarily strong. In fact, it can often be weakened, and then you're not actually able to engage fully. And then the rest of the body starts to compensate. So by releasing into the psoas, we'll be able to access the muscle a little bit better, and we'll also be able to access those supporting muscles, so say the glutes, because if the psoas is really tight, the glutes are also going to be over lengthened. And again, an over lengthened or an over tightened muscle are going to be really hard to use. And again, we'll be having to compensate with lesser muscles. So hopefully creating a nice little bit of space, but also we're going to be trying to engage with the muscles around the hips as well, so that we're strengthening into those muscles that mightn't be used as much as we wish. So starting in a nice easy cross-legged seat, getting as comfortable as you can. Just notice where those knees are at. So hopefully by the end of the class, they'll be a little bit closer toward the ground. We're going to place the palms down on the knees, relax the shoulders back, draw the belly. We're going to inhale, press the chest all the way over to the right as we lean from the lower back and bring it through center, all the way over to the left. And as we exhale, we're going to curl through the spine, tuck the chin to the chest, and continue to draw those lovely full circles. Maybe just close down the eyes here and really just enjoy that awakening within the body. So we're pressing the hands into the knees to draw ourselves a little bit deeper into that forward fold without forcing it. Again, feel free to bring the head and neck into the movement. Again, just allow it go freely. Maybe roll into the shoulders a little bit, awakening between the shoulder blades into the heart. So again, just making the movement your own here, not getting too caught up with what it looks like. So there's no right or wrong. We're just gently wakening up. Relax the breath. Softly breathing in and out through the nose. We're going to come back to center. We're going to reverse the crisscross of the legs, just to keep a wee bit of balance on those hips. And then we're going to inhale, press the chest all the way over to the left, bring it through center, all the way over to the right. And again, continue making those large, full movements. Really feeling that lower back release. And we should be feeling it into the opposite hip here than we did when we were going in the other direction. Again, depending on which way those legs are crossed. And just notice how that feels, not forcing it, so nice and gentle, particularly first thing in the morning, just wakening up into the soft tissue, creating a little bit of blood flow and energy into those joints. See if we can direct the breath a little bit deeper down into the belly here. We'll do one more full circle. And then meeting back at center. We're going to open the palms to the ceiling and we'll begin. Inhale the arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to the ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward and really release between those shoulder blades. And we'll do that 2 more times. So nice big stretch as we inhale, look up. And as we exhale, press forward and release. And we'll do that once more. Lovely. From here, we're going to straighten the legs out in front and just adjusting the sit bones, get nice and comfortable here. Drawing the toes toward the face and sitting as tall as we can. We're going to hug the right knee in until the foot's in line with the left, and then shift the hip bones forward to meet that heel. Crossing the right leg over the left. We're really going to hug that leg into the body so we feel that right hip release. Extend the left arm forward. We're going to wrap it around the right leg and hug that leg into the body. If we know we want to go deeper into the hips, we can always bend the left knee and tuck the heel close to the sit bone, but just make sure that right sit bone is firm on the ground. Inhale the right arm up, reach. And as we exhale, gently twist to the right, placing the right hand behind us, nice and close to the lower back. As we inhale, press the hand into the ground, lengthening. And as we exhale, we're twisting from the lower spine, moving it through the rib cage into the chest and looking over that right shoulder. So every inhale, think about lengthening. And every exhale, opening into the heart space, maybe even walking the right fingertips around the body. If you want to go a little bit further into the twist, we can cross the left arm over the chest, bend the left elbow and hook it to the outside of that right leg. Feeling it a little bit deeper in the spine, also really releasing into that right glute. But again, not forcing it, just going to a point of a gentle release and then allow the breath to bring us a little bit further if it wishes. We'll take one more breath here. And then inhale gently back through center, small little twist to the left just to release. And then back to center again. If the left heel is tucked in, we're going to straighten the left leg out in front. Hugging the right knee into the chest, we place the sole of the foot to the inner leg. Right hand comes behind us. We're going to inhale the left arm up, reach. And as we exhale, press the right hand, right knee into the ground. We're going to lift those hips nice and high. See if we can press that left foot into the ground. We're reaching back through the left fingertips and really pressing those hips toward the ceiling, drawing the belly in and feeding that space across the front of the pelvis. As we inhale, reach through the left arm. As we exhale, lift the hips a little bit higher. We'll take one more breath here. Nice big belly rest. And then slowly release all the way back to the ground. We're going to bring that right foot out to meet left. Again, adjust the flesh off the sit bones, get nice and comfortable, nice and strong. Hugging the left knee in until the foot's in line with the right, and then shifting the hips forward to meet the heel. We're going to cross the left leg over the right. Extend the right arm forward, really reaching, wrapping it around the leg and hugging that leg tight into the body. We might bend the right knee and tuck that heel close to the sit bone, but again, make sure that left sit bone is on the ground. We're going to inhale, reach, and as we exhale, twist to the left, placing the left hand on the ground behind us, nice and close to the lower back. As we inhale, sit tall, pressing that hand into the ground, drawing the belly in. And as we exhale, we're twisting a little bit more. So again, we're always starting that twist in the lower spine and moving it all the way up through to the neck. Drawing that right shoulder away from the ear and seeing if we can take the gaze a little bit further over to the left. Hugging that left leg in all the time. If we want to go deeper into the twist, we can cross the right arm over the chest, bend the elbow and hook it to the outside of that left leg, acting as an extra little bit of leverage to draw ourselves into that twist. Lengthening on the inhale, twisting, releasing on the exhale. We'll take one more breath on this side. And then slowly inhale back through center, a little twist to the right just to release. And then back to center again. If the heel's tucked in, we're going to straighten that right leg out, hug the left knee into the chest, and then we're going to rest the sole of the foot to the inner leg. The left hand comes behind us, nice and close to the lower back. We'll inhale the right arm up, reach. And as we exhale, lift those hips, pressing the left knee, left hand firmly into the ground. See if we can press that right foot fully onto the ground. So the full width, the full length of that right foot engage with the surface. As we inhale, reach back through the fingertips. As we exhale, lift those hips a little bit higher. So we're really engaging with those glute muscles. Notice if you're feeling compression in the lower back. I want you to really draw the belly in. Or again, imagine someone's about to drop something on your belly and you're trying to resist. We take one more breath here. And then slowly release all the way back down to the ground. We're going to bring that right foot into the left and we'll start a little bit of mobilization. So picking the right foot up, we'll place it into the left hand, knee into the right hand, drawing the toe toward the knee, sit tall and see if we can bring the shin a little bit higher without rounding into the spine. And we're going to gently rock into that right hip, really slowly. So just gently mobilizing. Maybe close down the eyes and just really tune it in with that hip. And it's a nice slow movement here. So we're just mindfully moving into that hip space. Nice and easy. Relax the breath. Soften the face. And just bring that focus into the right hip. We're going to meet back in center when you're ready. You can either stay here, bring in chest to shin, shin to chest, or we can place the foot into the left elbow crease, knee into the right, and maybe interlock the fingers or catch hold of the shin. But again, try to sit as tall as we can. We're just going to pause here with the breath. For 3, for 2, and 1. Release the grip, placing the foot to the ground, and then we're going to bring that right foot behind us, coming into our 90 degrees. So we're going to bring the left shin parallel to the front edge, bring that right foot behind us. So we've got lovely square angles at all the joints here. So take your time with this. We're bringing that lower leg out. We're probably going to find ourselves collapsing to the left. So we're going to get onto the finger pads, press the ground away so we can lift that left hip, and then find our center so that we're a little bit more centered as opposed to falling over to the left. We're going to inhale here, sit as tall as we can, pressing the inner right thigh into the ground. And if we wish, we're going to fold on the exhale, leading with the chest, lengthening from the lower back, and then maybe walking those hands forward, bringing ourselves a little bit closer toward the ground. Relax the head, relax the neck, sinking softly with each exhale. Keep pressing that inner right thigh into the ground. So although the majority is going to be felt here in the left hip, we're still trying to create a wee bit of space into that inner right. Every inhale, lengthen forward through the crown of the head, and every exhale, sink and fold toward the ground. Taking one more breath here. And gently tuck the chin in. We're going to walk those hands back toward the body. Bringing the left hand out to the side, right hand just above the left knee, and we're going to look over that left shoulder. So it's just a gentle twist here. We're going to feel that from the right knee all across the body toward that left shoulder. And we're just going to pause here, looking over the shoulder. Nice big belly breaths to create a little bit more stretch into the front of that body space. We can press that right hand into the leg a little bit more, giving us a wee bit more leverage into the twist. We'll take one more breath. And then gently coming back to center, a little twist to the right just to release. And then back to center again. We're going to bring that right foot around to meet the left. And we'll start into the other side. So this time we're going to pick the left foot up, place it into the right hand, knee into the left hand, drawing the toe toward the knee. So keep that lower leg active. Pick the shin up a little bit higher and then gently rock. Again, feel free to close the eyes down here and just really tune into that left hip. Notice where it's at. Notice where it feels a little bit more freer. Maybe there's a little bit more restriction. And again, not getting too caught up. Just respecting what's going on in that hip for now. Not forcing it to do what the other side did. And again, with our hips, we're looking for multi-planar movements. So if all our movement is into just one plane, we're going to get tight, we're going to get weak, we're going to get over-lengthened, we're going to get overused. But if we can focus a nice multi-planar movement into those hips in all directions, we're going to keep that mobility and that strength and that space. We're going to meet back at center. Again, bringing chest to shin, shin to chest. If you want to go deeper, you can place the foot into the right elbow crease, knee into the left, either interlocking fingers or catching hold of the shin, whatever feels good. And again, try not to collapse into the spine. So still sitting nice and tall here, drawing those toes toward the knees. So no compression in the knee here. For 3, for 2, and 1. We're going to place the left foot down, and then we're going to bring the left foot behind us, coming into our 90 degrees on the other side. Right shin parallel to the front edge of the mat, drawing the toe toward the knee. Again, shifting that hip. So we've got nice square 90-degree angles at all the joints, bringing that left lower leg out. Again, coming up onto the finger pads. We're going to press the ground away, see if we can lift that right hip off the ground and just shift the hips a little bit side to side until we can find a little bit more centeredness with our pose. Again, we can stay here. That might be enough, pressing that inner left thigh into the ground. Or if we wish, we're going to inhale tall, and as we exhale, gently lean forward, leading with the chest, lengthening from the lower back, walking those hands forward out in front. Relax the head, relax the neck. And again, just folding as deeply as feels good for you. So one side you might be folding a little bit deeper.
Just going to where you feel a nice gentle stretch and release. Drawing the belly in, creating a little bit more space for that fold to happen. We might come down onto the forearms, we might come all the way down to the ground. So again, with each exhale, just allowing the body release, not forcing it. Softening the breath, softening the belly, softening the chest. One more breath here. Gently tilt the chin in. We're going to walk the hands back toward the body. Again, we're going to bring that right hand out to the side behind us. Bring the left hand just above the right knee and gently twist to the right and looking over the right shoulder. We're going to press the left hand into the leg to give ourselves a little bit more leverage into that twist. So again, we're finding that from the left knee across the front of the body all the way to the right shoulder. Nice big belly breaths here. And even though we're breathing deeply into the belly, still drawing the belly button in toward the spine. So we're keeping those lower back muscles nice and engaged too. I'm going to take 2 more breaths here. One more. And then slowly inhale back to center, little twist to the left just to release. And then back to center again. We're going to bring the left foot out in front. We're going to bring the right foot out to meet it. And then we're going to straighten the legs. Again, adjust the sit bones, get nice and comfortable. Hugging the right knee in. We're going to place the right ankle either just above or just below that left knee. Drawing the toe toward the knee. Pressing the knee toward the ground and bringing those hands behind us. So try not to collapse into the shoulders. We're pressing the ground away, nice open heart here. And this might be where we stay, just drawing that knee a little bit closer toward the ground. If we want to go deeper and only if the ankle is above the knee, we can bend the left knee, place the foot flat to the ground, and then we might even walk the sit bones toward the heels, heels toward the sit bones. So we're coming into our figure 4, and as you walk the heel and sit bone together, you're going to feel that a lot deeper into the right hip. So again, don't force it. Again, try not to collapse into the shoulders. So really pressing the ground actively away, pressing that right knee away from the body. And again, we're just going to hold it here. Maybe closing down the eyes. And again, particularly first thing in the morning, not forcing the hip, just going to a point of a nice gentle release. And then if the body and the breath want to go deeper, we'll be soon to let you know. Softly, softly for 3. For 2. And 1. We're going to gently release out of the pose. So straighten that left leg if it's not there already. Bringing the right leg out to meet it. And again, we'll hug the left knee in. We can place the left ankle just above or just below the right knee. Drawing the knee toward the ground, pressing the ground away behind us. And again, if you wish, we might bend the right knee, flatten the foot. Again, try not to collapse. Heel to bum, bum to heel. And again, just making that distance a little bit closer without forcing. And just notice I'm finding myself, this side just isn't as cooperative this morning. So again, not beating yourself up about it. Like sometimes it can be just how we slept or what we did the day before. It's just if it's something that keeps reoccurring, maybe we need to address it a little bit further. But for now, just enjoying that space for what it is, not forcing it, not beating ourselves up about it, and just enjoying it. Relaxing with the breath, really actively pressing the ground away. Nice and strong in the core for 3. For 2. And 1, gently release out of the pose. We're going to straighten the leg, bring that left foot out to meet it. And then we're going to bring both knees. We're going to bend both knees, and we're going to place those feet a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. Again, bringing those hands behind us. We'll inhale here at center, and as we exhale, drop both knees over to the right as we look over the left shoulder. Inhale back through center, exhale knees to the left as we look over to the right. And continue with your own breath, just gently windscreen wipering those knees side to side. So again, lovely mobilization of those hips this morning. We're going to work into a little bit of strength in a moment. For now, we're just trying to create that space so that we can engage with those muscles. If you want to bring a little bit of core here, next time you come to center, we can bring the hands to heart, taking the support of the arms out of the movement. And again, if you want to try for a little bit more strength and space, next time we drop the knees over to the right, we're going to pause here. And you can either use your hands or not use your hands. We're going to lift off the mat, press the hips forward and just get that nice bit of space. Exhale, sit back, back through center. Bring those knees over to the left and again lift. Pressing the hips forward and slowly return to seat. So again, option only. And you will find if you those hands to heart center that you are going to be shifting forward a little bit. And again, we're mindfully moving. So again, making it as slow and as mindful as your body requires this morning. We're going to do one more and we're going to meet back at center. Lovely. And we can shift our way back onto the mat from here. From here, we're going to lie back onto the ground. We can have a strap or towel beside us. Knees are bent, feet are flat to start with. We're going to hug the right knee in, give it a nice little squeeze, straighten the left leg. So again, we're working into our psoas release here. Right hand is on the shin, left hand presses that left hip to the ground. As we inhale, press the shin into the hand, and as we exhale, work that right knee outside the line of the body. So again, this is our nice psoas stretch. If you wish, you can kind of make a few little minor movements into that right hip until you find your sweet spot, so where you find that deepest release. Because we're just going to pause here. As we inhale, press the shin into the hand, so we're activating. And as we exhale, allow the hip open a little bit more. So then really pressing that left hip down, pressing the lower back into the ground. And again, psoas can get tight from our movements, and it can also have quite an effect on those internal organs in the abdominal cavity, particularly the digestive organs. So if our psoas muscle gets really tight, it can put a little bit of extra pressure on our digestive or urinary system. So sometimes it makes us need to go a little bit more, or we might find if we're out for a walk or a run over a while, we need to relieve ourselves a little bit sooner. And that can actually be just a really tight psoas muscle. So without kind of even thinking about what we're eating, just addressing that little muscle can really help with that digestion. I'm going to take one more breath here. And then hug that right knee back into the chest. From here, we're going to bend the left knee. Place the foot flat to the ground. So still hugging that right knee in. We're going to walk the shoulder blades together. And then see if we can just curl that lower back off the ground and lift the hips. So we're not going into our full bridge. Quite strong in that left hip. See if we can lift a little bit more. And we're just going to hold it here for 3. For 2. And 1, gently release all the way down to the ground. And then we're going to hug the left knee in, straighten the right leg. Right hand rests on the right hip, left hand on the shin. We'll inhale, press the shin into the hand. And as we exhale, work that left hip open. Really grounding the lower back and right hip to the mat. As we inhale, press shin into hand. And as we exhale, work that hip softly open. And again, feel free to close down your eyes here. Feel free to shift around in that left hip until you find that sweet spot without overstretching. Just enjoying that space for what it is. Taking one more breath. And then slowly inhale the knee back into the chest. We can interlock fingers and really hug that left knee into the chest. Relax the shoulders back. We're going to bend the right knee, place the foot flat to the ground. Heel is nice and close to the sit bone here. And again, continuing to hug that knee in, pressing the right foot into the ground. See if we can lift the hips a little bit, lift the hips a little bit more, and lift them then as high as we can. Again, we're not going into our full bridge. We're getting a little bit of activation of glute, hamstring, hips. Still hugging that left knee in for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently release. Hugging the right knee in to meet left. And again, just allow those knees fall apart, making a few little figure eights or circles on the lower back, either or both directions. So just massaging it out. Relax the breath. And then coming to stillness. From here, we're going to bring the feet to the ground. Knees are together, feet are together. We're going to reach the fingertips toward the front of the mat and see if we can brush the backs of the heels. When you're ready, we're going to press both feet firmly into the ground. As we inhale, gently peel the lower, middle, and upper back off the ground as we lift those hips. Walk the shoulder blades together. So again, knees are together here. Try not to allow them to fall out to the sides. Really strong in those glutes and hamstrings. Lifting the hips as high as we can, but make sure we're not feeling any pressure in the lower back. So drawing the belly button in. We're trying to make the space between the belly button and the heart center as small as possible. So really engage with those core muscles. From here, keeping the knees together, we're going to straighten the right leg, press it away through the right heel. We're going to inhale, lift. And as we exhale, gently lower the hips, hovering just off the ground. Inhale really slowly up. Exhale really slowly lower. We'll do that 3 more times on this side. Aiming for height. And really control the movement. This is quite strong in the left glute and hamstring. Last one. And then slowly release all the way down to the ground. We're going to bend the right knee in, and then we're going to rest that right ankle just above the left knee. Figure 4, pressing that right knee away. And again, we're just going to hang out here, not doing any further, just for a couple of moments before we go over to the other side. And again, hug the right knee in. We'll place the right foot down to meet left. Hands are to the ground, fingertips brush the backs of the heels, knees together, feet together. Inhale, gently peel the lower, middle, upper back off the ground as we lift those hips, walk the shoulder blades together, taking the pressure off the head and neck. Knees are glued together, hips are lifted, and then see if we can straighten that left leg, press the way through the left heel. We're going to inhale, lift, and as we exhale, gently lower the hips toward the ground, hovering just off the mat. Inhale, really slowly up. Exhale, really slowly lower. And we'll do that 3 more times, mindfully moving. Think about the muscles we're engaging, creating that lovely space into the front of the body with the lift. 1 more. And then slowly release all the way down to the ground, bending the left knee in. We're going to rest the left ankle just above the right knee into our figure 4 and press that left knee away. So again, just a gentle release here, not going too far. Just hanging out here, catch and hold your breath for 3. For 2. And 1. Left knee back into the chest. We'll place that left foot down to meet right. From here, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together and allow the knees drop out to the sides. Hands are still on the ground, fingertips are still to the front of the mat. Notice if the lower back's off the mat, we can just peel those shoulder blades up the mat until we can reconnect the full length of the spine to the ground. And we're just working those knees down toward the ground as we press the soles of the feet together. If you want to go deeper, and only if, option only, we're going to press the outer blades of the feet into the ground and gently peel the lower, middle, upper back off the ground as we lift the hips toward the ceiling. We're going to walk the shoulder blades together, again taking the pressure off the head and neck, pressing hands, arms, shoulders firmly into the ground, lifting those hips as we allow those knees fall out toward the ground. Really pressing the soles of the feet together here, nice and active. And again, we can stay here, enjoying that space, so we can activate a little bit as we inhale, lift. And as we exhale, gently lower, hovering just off the ground. Inhale, really slowly up, mindful movements. Exhale, really slowly lower. We'll do that 3 more times. Two more. Last one. And then slowly release all the way down to the ground. We're going to flatten those feet down to the ground. Feet are wider than hip width distance apart, maybe the width of the mat apart. Allow the knees to fall together. We're just going to rest the right hand on the belly, the left hand on the heart, and allow the shoulders to relax. Pressing that lower back into the ground, so the full length of the spine is connected to the ground. And this is actually one of our best psoas releases. So it doesn't feel like we're doing much, particularly if the hips are really tight or we've had quite a tough day. This is a really nice space just to come back into. So just by resting the hand on the belly and the chest, just bringing a little bit more focus to our belly breath or our full belly breathing or body breathing. But just the placement of those feet nice and wide, allowing the knees connect, and we'll actually feel that release into the hip flexors and particularly into that psoas muscle. So again, you can hang out here for as long as you wish. Maybe not this morning, but whenever you just feel like getting a nice restorative sensation to those hips without going too deep. Okay. From here, just releasing out of the pose, we're going to hug both knees into the chest, crisscross of the ankles. Options to make your way anyway to seat, or you can rock and roll with me. Just the one time, forward and back along the mat. We're going to bring ourselves into a nice strong seat at the front of the mat, bringing the hands forward, shift the body weight forward. We step back onto the knees into a nice strong tabletop. Again, not forgetting our cat-cow curls. Shoulders over elbows over wrists, elbow creases face forward, hips stacked over knees. We'll inhale, take the gaze forward and up, arching the spine. As we exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, tuck the chin to the chest, and continue with your own breath. Just trying to create as much space, the full length of the spine here as we can. Again, there's no right or wrong. It's all about creating movement, freedom, and mobility. The full length of the spine. Think about space between the joints. Feeling that energy flow. And again, feel free to close the eyes down here and just really engage with the movements. Meeting back at center in our tabletop, we're going to walk the hands forward to the front of the mat. Fingers widely spread. Tuck the toes under, sitting back toward the heels. We press the ground away, see if we can get those sit bones a little bit further back. Resting the forehead toward the ground, whether it touches or not. Just relaxing the head and neck here for a couple of moments. Feel the chest expand, feel the space between the shoulder blades. When you're ready, we're going to press the hands into the ground. Lifting the head, we're going to lift the knees and then press those hips as high as we can toward the ceiling, coming right up onto the tippy toes, and then gently releasing those heels down toward the ground. And then we're going to paddle out our feet in our downward dog. So as we press the ground away, see if you can get the chest a little bit closer toward the mat. Gaze is relaxed, we're looking back toward the knees. And then just softening those heels down toward the ground without forcing, and just notice that one heel is coming a little bit lower than the other. Just noticing any little imbalances within the body. Not getting too caught up. Noticing, acknowledging that we might need to look further, but for now, just enjoy the movement. We're going to look forward between the hands, gently paddle away to the front of the mat. Coming through a nice relaxed forward fold, softening through the knees here so we can release the belly onto the legs. Tucking the chin in so we're releasing the back of the spine. Maybe holding on to opposite elbows if it feels good. We're just going to hang out here for a couple of breaths. As we inhale, see if we can lift the hips a little bit higher. And as we exhale, sinking into our fold, we take one more breath. Release the fingertips toward the ground, just the chin in. We're going to slowly roll our way all the way up to stand. Head comes up last, nice and easy. And finally, we're standing. Take a little drink here if you wish. We're going to go into our standing practice and go straight into our flow from there. So from the front of the mat, when you're ready, we're going to meet. Feet hip-width distance apart, hands to heart center. Relax the shoulders, draw the belly in, lengthening through the crown of the head. We're going to inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to step that right foot as far back as we can go, dropping the right heel down. And then we're going to bring that left foot so it's parallel to the right. So we're turning to the right side of the room. Both legs are straight here. We're going to splay the feet out so that they're at about 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock on our clock. Hands coming back to heart, relax the shoulders, and we're just going to soften gently into the knees, sitting into our lunge. Just notice here if the knees are collapsing inward, we're going to try to engage with those glute muscles to press the knees outwards, nice and strong here. We can place the hands to the inner thighs, fingertips point down, and we're going to draw those shoulders back, draw the belly in. This might be where we stay, or we could inhale center, and as we exhale, twist to the right, looking over the shoulder. Inhale center, exhale twist to the left. And again, just notice those hips. I'm getting a little twinge in that right one. So listening to your own body here, only going as deep as feels good. If you want to incorporate the twist, you can. Again, multiplanar motion. We're going into our spine here as well as those hips. Thinking as deeply as feels good in our squat. We're going to meet back at center when you're ready. Bringing those hands back to heart. And then we're going to inhale, straighten the legs, bring the arms together overhead, palms together, gaze goes up. Exhale, hands to heart as we lower down into our squat. Inhale, arms out, straighten the legs, reaching up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart, squat, and continue with your own breath. Again, making sure those knees aren't collapsing inward. Bringing those arms right back in line with the ears. So we're really feeling those shoulder muscles engaged, that openness into the heart. Gaze is upward as we inhale and forward as we exhale. And again, feel free to go a little bit deeper, but only if it feels good. Testing out those hips. Strengthening the glutes, but creating that space as well as we inhale. We do two more. Feeling that energy, that chi within the body. Last one. Meeting in our squats. And then we're going to straighten the legs. Lovely. Bringing the back foot parallel to the back edge of the mat. Pointing that left foot forward, we're going to bend into the left knee and open the arms into our warrior lunge. Left heel bisects the arch of the back foot. We're bending softly into the left knee and just make sure that left knee is pointed forward. Take the gaze over that left middle finger. We're going to inhale, straighten the left leg, arms together overhead, gaze goes up. Exhale, bend the left knee, warrior lunge. Inhale, lengthen and rise. Exhale, warrior lunge. Two more. Again, sinking as deeply as feels good into that front leg without overdoing those hips. One more. We're going to meet in a warrior. Keeping the left knee bent, we'll rest the right hand on the back leg. Inhale the left arm up, flip the palm, and as we exhale, reach the left arm to the back of the room, looking over the right shoulder or up toward that left middle finger for 3. Bending into that left knee for 2. And 1. Inhale, back to warrior center as we exhale. Cartwheel both hands down either side of the left foot, coming onto the ball of the right. We're going to keep that right hand on the ground. And then inhale the left arm up, opening the heart, pressing back through the right heel. Knee can be on or off the ground. Inhale here as we exhale, bring that left hand back down to the ground. Inhale, left arm up and open the heart. Exhale, left hand back to the ground. 2 more. Inhale, left arm up and open a little bit more. Exhale, hand to the ground. Last one. Inhale, left arm up and open. Exhale, left hand comes back to the ground. We're going to release the right knee to the ground. Inhale, both the arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. From here, we're going to interlock both fingers, place them just above the left knee. Inhale, lengthen. And as we exhale, sink those hips toward the ground. Lovely. From here, we're going to keep the left hand on the thigh. Inhale the right arm up. And as we exhale, reach the right arm all the way over to the left. So we're really feeling that into the right side of the body, into the front of the right hip, looking over the left shoulder for 3. For 2. And 1. Returning to center, right hand onto the left. And then we frame that left foot with both hands. Coming off the right knee. We're going to step the left foot back to meet right, lifting the hips and walking it out in our downward dog, nice and easy. Softening the breath, softening the body, lifted those hips. Coming to stillness in our downward dog, we're going to inhale the right leg up, looking forward, bend the right knee into the chest. We'll shift the body weight forward till we can step that right foot between the hands. Dropping the left heel down, outer blade of the foot parallel to the back edge of the mat. To engage the core, coming up into a warrior on the other side. Extend the arms, palms face down, softening the shoulders. Notice if the belly's kind of popped out here. I want you to really focus on sucking the belly button in so you're feeling those lower back muscles really engage. Gaze over that middle finger. We'll inhale, straighten the right leg, arms together overhead, gaze goes up. Exhale, bend the right knee, warrior lunge. Inhale, lengthen and rise. Exhale, warrior lunge. 2 more. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Softening a little bit more with each exhale. Last one. Meeting in our warrior, that right knee is bent. Left hand rests on the back leg. We'll inhale the right arm up, flip the palm, and as we exhale, reach the right arm to the back of the room, either looking over the shoulder if we want to challenge the balance up toward that right middle finger for 3. Reaching through the right arm for 2. And 1. Inhale back to warrior center as we exhale. Cartwheel both hands down either side of the right foot, coming onto the ball of the left. Keeping that left hand on the ground. That left knee can be on or off the mat. We're going to inhale, right arm up toward the ceiling, opening the heart. Pause here for the first one. Really drawing that right shoulder back. If we're off the knee, actively press back through the heel. As we exhale, right hand back to the ground. Inhale, right arm up and open the heart. Gaze goes up. Exhale, right hand to the mat. 2 more. Inhale, right arm up and open. A little bit more space. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhale, right arm up and open. Exhale, right hand back to the ground. We're going to rest the left knee down onto the mat. Engage the core. We'll inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart, interlock fingers just above the right knee. We'll inhale, press the hands into the leg, lengthen. And as we exhale, sink and release those hips a little bit more. Lovely. This time we're going to keep the right hand on the leg. Inhale the left arm up toward the ceiling, and as we exhale, reach the left arm all the way over to the right. This time feeling that space into the left side of the body, into the hip, and either looking over that right shoulder, or if we want to challenge the balance, up toward that left hand. Bending strongly into the right knee, reaching as far as we can to the right for 3, for 2, and 1. Release the pose, back to center, left hand onto right. We're going to frame the right foot with both hands coming off the left knee. We're going to gently shift the body weight forward to bring that left foot up to meet right, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Well done. Get nice movement into the body this morning. When you're ready, we're going to go for a second varied round. Coming to the front of the mat, feet nicely planted, about hip width distance apart. Arms are by the sides, palms flip forward, draw the belly in, really lengthening here. We're going to inhale, lift the right knee out in front. A little bit of balance. We're going to place the left hand to the outside of the thigh. Use the wall if you need. We're going to inhale the right arm up, and as we exhale, gently twist to the right. Bringing that right arm behind us, we're going to look toward the right thumb, holding it for 3. Pressing that left hand into the leg for 2. And 1, turning back to the front, hands come to heart. Soften the left knee. We're going to bring that right foot as far back as we can into our lunge, holding it here. And then place a little bit more weight into the left foot. We're going to inhale, lift that right knee out in front. Exhale, soften the left knee, step back into our high lunge. We're going to do that twice more. Inhale, lift that right knee out in front. Exhale, step back, find your space. 1 more. Inhale, right knee out in front. Soften the knee, exhale, step back, well done. Drop the right heel down, extend the arms, warrior. Inhale here, exhale, soften a little bit more. Inhale, straighten the left leg, arms together overhead, look up. Exhale, bend the left knee, warrior lunge. 2 more. Inhale, lengthen and rise. Exhale, warrior lunge. 1 more. Meeting in a warrior, right hand on the back leg. Inhale the left arm up, flip the palm, and as we exhale, reach the left arm back overhead, looking over the shoulder up toward that extended arm, making sure the arm is back in line with the ear. That right hand is just rested. We're not putting pressure on the joints for 3. For 2. And 1. Inhale, back to warrior center. This time, place the left forearm onto the front leg. We're going to bring that right arm back up toward the ceiling, and as we exhale, reach the right arm to the front of the room. Again, arm is back in line with the ear. We're drawing the right shoulder back. We're opening into the left hip, taking the gaze up if it feels good. For 3. For 2. And 1. Inhale, back to warrior center. As we exhale, cartwheel both hands down either side of the left foot, coming onto the ball of the right. Knee on or off the mat, right hand stays in the ground. We're going to inhale the left arm up and open the heart. This time as we exhale, tread the left hand underneath that left leg, reaching it to the right. Inhale, left arm up and open, gaze follows. Exhale, tread left hand underneath the leg. Inhale, left arm up and open. Exhale, thread it through. Last one. Inhale, left arm up and open. This time as we exhale, place the left hand to the ground. Right knee on or off the mat, your choice. We're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlock fingers, place them just above the left knee. Inhale, lengthen tall. Exhale, release those hips. So again, that right knee can be on or off the ground. We're going to keep the left hand on the thigh. Inhale the right arm up, and as we exhale, reach the right arm to the left as much as we can. So we're pressing the hip to the right, reaching to the left. For 3, for 2, and 1. Right hand back to meet left. Framing that left foot with both hands. We'll step the left foot back to meet right. Gently walk it out, inner downward dog, nice and easy. Lots of energy in the body this morning. Coming to stillness, we're going to inhale the right leg back, looking forward. Bend the right knee into the chest. We'll gently step the foot between the hands in as many moves as you need. Left foot to meet it. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Well done. Second side. When you're ready, meeting at the front, a little bit of space out in front, feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, really finding all corners of the feet into the ground. Arms are by the side, shoulders relaxed, palms flip forward. Again, really engaging with those core muscles, with those leg muscles, with those feet. Keeping that right foot planted. We're going to inhale the left knee out in front. Again, we can either stay here, place that right hand on the outer thigh, inhale the left arm up, and as we exhale, gently twist to the left, looking over that left thumb, pressing the right hand into the leg. And again, you can use the wall, use a table, use a chair until you feel comfortable here. And just make that support a little bit less each time. For 3, for 2, and 1. Turning back to the front, we're going to bring those hands to heart center. Inhale here, soften the right knee, and as we exhale, step that left foot back as far as we can into our high lunge. Get nice and comfortable, shifting the body weight forward to that right foot. We're going to inhale, lift the left knee out in front. Exhale, soften the right knee, step back into our high lunge. Inhale, left knee out in front. Exhale, step it back. And again, notice one side might be a little bit more confident than the other. Last one. Inhale, left knee out in front. Exhale, nice deep lunge back. Find your center. We're going to drop the left heel down, opening those arms. into our warrior. So right foot points forward, left foot parallel to the back edge of the mat, shoulders relaxed, belly drawn in. We'll inhale here, exhale, sinking into those hips. Inhale, straighten the right leg, arms together overhead, look up. Exhale, bend the right knee, warrior lunge. Inhale, lengthen and rise. Exhale, warrior lunge, right knee still pointed forward, last one. Inhale, lengthen and rise. Exhale, meeting in our warrior lunge. We're going to rest the left hand on the back leg. Inhale the right arm up, flip the palm, and as we exhale, reach the right arm to the back of the room, looking over the shoulder or up toward that right middle finger for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale back to warrior center. As we exhale, rest the right forearm on the front leg. We'll inhale the left arm back, up toward the ceiling, and as we exhale, reach the left arm to the front of the room. Again, arm is back in line with the ear. We're not reaching out to the left. Trying to keep the body nice and streamlined here. Use that right arm to open into the hip for 3. Gaze up for 2. And 1. Inhale, back to warrior center. As we exhale, cartwheel both hands down, either side of the right foot, coming onto the ball of the left. Lovely. Left knee on or off the mat. Left hand stays on the ground. We're going to inhale the right arm up and open the heart. Gaze goes up. Exhale, tread right hand underneath the leg as we reach the right hand to the left. Inhale, right arm up and open. Gaze follows. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, right arm up and open. Exhale, thread it through. The last one. Inhale, right arm up and open. This time as we exhale, right hand comes back to the ground. Again, left knee on or off the mat, your choice. We're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart, interlock fingers just above the right knee. Inhale, lengthen tall. Exhale, sink into those hips. Again, knee on or off the mat. We keep the right hand on the thigh. Inhale the left arm up, and as we exhale, reach the left arm all the way over to the right, softening into the left hip, looking over the shoulder or up toward the hand for 3. For 2, and 1. Left hand back to right. We're going to frame that right foot and then gently step the right foot back to meet left, walking it out nice and softly in our downward dog. Easy, easy. Relax the head, relax the neck, relax the shoulders. Lifting those hips. Nice and gentle. Coming to stillness here, we're going to release softly down onto the knees. Untuck the toes. We're going to walk the hands back toward the knees to bring ourselves to step back onto the heels. And our final pose this morning is our frog pose, or alternatively, we can come into wide-legged child's pose. I'm just going to adjust my mat. You can see me a little bit better here. So you're going to come to a similar position as me on your mat. And we're going to walk those knees as far apart as we can. So toes can be tucked or untucked. Sometimes it can be uncomfortable to untuck them, but untuck them if you can. We're going to walk those knees as far apart as we can. And again, you can always place a little towel or cushioning underneath the front of the feet, particularly if you've quite bony feet like myself. And again, this might be where we stay, just enjoying that space. I have a towel placed out in front because hopefully that's where my head is going to be in a moment. So again, we can stay here, just enjoying that space, sinking through the hips. We can walk the hands forward just until the hips are in line with the knees. So we're not sitting back into our child's pose unless we've chosen to stay there. And we're not sitting too far forward that we're crunching into that lower back. And even at this point, those knees might move a little bit further apart. And then we can come down onto the forearms. So again, even just shifting the hips forward and back until you find that sweet spot of release. Notice here if the belly has collapsed, just try to draw the belly button in slightly so we can flatten out that lower back. And then from here, we've got options. So we can walk the hands forward. We can sink the chest toward the ground and rest the head onto our block or onto a towel or onto a cushion. If you find that a little bit claustrophobic, you can always make a little pillow by piling one hand or one fist on top of the other. And again, still experimenting with those hips, finding that sweet spot. For most of us, this is where we're going to stay. If you want to come into your full frog, you can always bring those lower legs out at 90-degree angles. So we've got lovely 90-degree angles at the ankles, at the knees, and at the hips. Just make sure those feet aren't floating off the ground. They're nice and rested. And if you need to cushion the knees a little bit more, either with cushions or rolling up your mat, take your time. We're going to stay here for just about a minute. So I want you to find a space that you feel quite comfortable releasing into, and feel free to take a little bit of time to make those adjustments. Sometimes when we come into our frog pose, those muscles can be a little bit crampy if you have been quite active. So again, just find that space, make it work for you. And then try to find a little bit of stillness, somewhere that you feel that maybe you can hold or release into, should I say, for a little bit longer. And again, not forcing our frog pose. So not feeling that, oh, we're not in the full pose if we don't bring those legs out. You're in the full pose for you, wherever you're at. Those hips we have to be so conscious of, especially first thing in the morning. So again, if we didn't sleep so good, or maybe we slept in a little ball, maybe we've had a hard day the day before, maybe there's still a little bit of stress and tension. So those hips, even though maybe physically we haven't been working them as hard, we might have a lot of emotional tensions, mental tensions caught up in there. So again, just being kind to yourself here, just releasing into that space, but not forcing it. Melting the body toward the ground. So try not to hold yourself here. Allow gravity, the breath, the weight of the body sink a little bit deeper. Nice big belly breath. So maybe even taking the focus off the hips and back into the breath for a couple of moments, and just noticing how that makes those hips react. Even as you release the breath, or as you breathe a little bit deeper, you're going to find that into those hips. You're going to find that extra little bit of space, that extra little release. Softening the breath, softening the face. Notice if we're gripping our hands, just softly releasing each and every body part. We just have a couple of more breaths here. We're nearly there. And again, for tension release, you can definitely stay here for a lot longer. For your physical release, you're not going to get much more benefits after the minute. But definitely from a restorative or mindful point of view, there's no harm hanging out here a little bit longer. But for now, if we come into our full frog, the first thing we're going to do is just soften up the knees, just a little bit, just to release those lower legs. And then everybody, we're going to press the hands into the ground. We're going to come up onto the forearms if we're not there already. Body weight is now going to be into the hands and into the forearms. And again, even here, pressing the forearms into the ground. See if we can draw those knees a little bit closer until at least the big toes can touch again. And then from here, pressing the ground away as we come off the ground. So all that pressure or weight is into the front of the body. And then gently, we're going to sit back onto the heels. And then from here, maybe walk those knees a little bit closer toward each other. So take your time here, nice and easy. We might shift the hips a little bit side to side, releasing any last little bit of tension we might be holding on to. Come into stillness, allow the body reset. And then I'm going to invite you to come back into our easy cross-legged, like how we started. Nice and comfortable. And just again, tuning into where those knees are at. So hopefully the hips are a little bit more relaxed. We feel a little bit more stable in that little part of the body. And we're going to finish like we started. Sitting nice and tall, nice and strong. Heart is open. Opening the palms to the ceiling. And we'll inhale the arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling as we exhale. Press the palms forward, release the breath, slide out and let it go. We'll do that 2 more times. Gently bringing the hands to heart, press the palms together, close down the eyes, and just thank yourselves for creating a little bit of space in your morning, for coming to the mat, looking after yourselves, create some lovely energy, some lovely release, some lovely strength, and hopefully take that with you into the day and into the rest of the week ahead. Thank you so much for sharing your practice and your energy with me. Namaste.